I don't know how I'm actually going to open this up, but I will say I'm not going to be reading through the story. I mean, I'll let it rock sometimes, but aside from those moments, we're focusing on gameplay here. So if you're new to the channel, if you've never seen a video by me, yeah, we're kind of just speeding through. I have played the game once already, or 1.5, technically twice, but I don't know if you count hitting both. Doing half of 2 playthroughs counts, and by that I mean I did 2 playthroughs and I went 50%, and I decided that doesn't make as much sense. But for those who don't know what Drapline is, hey, you're raised Durgan girl. That's the shorthand of it. But otherwise, I'm focusing as we are. I don't remember what we're doing. I think we can just go, right? Doesn't really matter here. This is your first tutorial into the battle system, and, well, depends on what setups you'll get anyway. That's why this is listed as a roguelite, although I'm sure there are other things as well. Oh my goodness, there is a thing in real life. Well, stream-like video. Also, I think that was just the sound of vibration, so no sounds from anywhere else. But aside from that, I should actually have done a thing, but we'll just get through with it. So yeah, raise Durgan girl, race stats, randomness happens, and then you find out that, well, there sometimes the randomness, if you didn't see the trying to play video, randomness can be a heck of a thing, but otherwise, as we get into it here, you live in a world and you're trying to stop the catastrophe. Otherwise, yes, there are other things that you would normally have already seen if you saw any footage of this video. But otherwise, if this is your first experience with Drapline, oh boy, oh boy. Also, you may have noticed on the thing, I don't know if you can see the cursor actually, but yeah, if you have seen the thing at the top left of the main menu screen, the game is in early access, so I think the prospective full 1.0 version, they have a full story, so on and so forth, is going to be the, let's see, I think it was like summer next year, or 2026. And if not, I mean, anything could always happen. I think there have been at least 3 different other games that I've talked about how I guess I could skip this. We'll go somewhat slow, just in case you want to kind of read in. But basically, find Durgan girl, raise Durgan girl, take care of Durgan girl. But as we move on here, there are other things to say, and yes, this is a translation. I don't know anyone connected to this game, basically, whether it's someone involved with translation, the publisher, developer, so on and so forth. I have seen that the developer is basically one person working on Drapline. I'm sure there are other things, like other connections here and there, but for the most part, one person show. So there's a lot to go through, so I'm not going to be nitpicky over everything. Although when I see that, you know, sometimes something may not look right in English, or there's some certain gameplay things, because as a, well, wannabe game developer myself, yeah, I will be analyzing things with that eye. Again, this is for more people who don't know this channel. For those who do know this channel, there's a lot of RNG as well. So we're gonna go for a glass cannon coup, by the way, which has not worked out for me as well in the past 3 playthroughs, but as we're starting out here, I mean, hey, also new in this version, for those who are coming back to Drapline, you have this library, so this should kind of just be normal for any game, really. Having some kind of way to look at things. There's no reason to obfuscate things, because if you think you're a smart developer and go, haha, I'm going to obfuscate things, if I really wanted to, I would just write down notes in real life. In this day and age, probably on a text file somewhere, but otherwise, yeah, go on. I'm gonna be raising a wild coup as well, but yeah, I'm gonna be analyzing things here and there. I'm not always gonna be correct. It's obviously gonna be mostly opinion, but I'll do my best. Poison. Do I want to run a poison? That's a sentence to say. Yeah, probably. I mean, just pick shiny. Again, I'm not going to be thinking too hard, just as this first playthrough goes on, but I will be kind of taking my... Hey, Q as a divine dragon likes to eat, Morgan Chiana coming over to meet with us, but I'm also going to be devoured. I usually like to devour games. I don't like to do one-offs and be done. Sometimes I will, most of the time I won't. If you've seen most of the series on this channel, I've given it a big through scrub. I've given them a lot of time, basically. That was not the right thing. But Morgan Gianna telling us the lore of, hey, Divine Dragon Coup. What? Wait, what she do? She's supposed to help the world, bring peace. That kind of thing. I mean, it sure beats, I mean, if you've seen videos of contemporary times, there have been a lot of stories about love and loss, and that's, I mean, makes sense. That's a normal part of a lot of people's lives, for better or for worse, but if you write a good story, hey, it turns out it's gonna go well. So as we move on, we can also just press Control. I think one little nitpick, gameplay-wise, would be the not being able to... Well, maybe there is, but maybe I just haven't found it. But it's not easy to stop skipping messages once you choose to skip messages. Although, that being said, if you're deciding to skip messages, the other side of that is you would probably already have wanted to skip messages. So for example, if I press Control here and I press Control again, the messages don't stop skipping. Among other things, I'm sure I'm going to be running into at least a few this video, but we'll see actually what happens. Also, these videos should go about 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, I could just do a full run, but that would involve me skipping a lot, and that would probably be like an hour and 90 minutes. But an hour or 60 minutes to 90 minutes. But if I want to take it slow here and give you bites because I don't want to take up too much of your time per day, then yeah. Unless people ask for it, but that's a completely different issue. Basically, mysterious monsters come out, fight. But, as it is so far, nothing too difficult, as it should be. You don't normally have a lot to prepare by the time you get into your first, well, pretty much tutorial battle. And it's still a tutorial battle anyway, because, as you'll see, we get to use breath in a short moment. Short moment. As for the translation in general, I mean, it's definitely better than serviceable. I can think of a few other games in which the English is all over the place, so, and it's nothing that I've played so far. No, nothing I've played so far. I'm thinking about a thing. If you've seen the videos on this channel, then you know, but otherwise, like, literally anything, or every game I played on my channel so far has had, that's been translated into English, has done a pretty good job. But otherwise, as we sit here, keep in mind, I mean, it's not like it's part of my resume, it's actually a bad part of my resume, but I did take a few classes in Japanese, was actually supposed to major in Japanese, but that didn't happen, because literally the only thing stopping... I know people who've been with this channel already know, all I had to do was go to Japan to get my major, or to at least fulfill all the last requirement, and I didn't do that due to personal reasons. So yeah, strength. Hey, could also take agility, HP. That's important as well. But yeah, smaller effect but more stamina. I mean, either way. But if I want to pick shiny, pick shiny. But that, I mean, you can see on the right-hand side of the ingredients there, or the food, the rarity of the food you're eating. But shrug. Also, I need to keep an eye on my money. I've taken, I think every single run I've taken loans, even though you don't really need to. And by the way, so basically that 30 stamina I recovered through food is going to be refunded back by digging here. I could dig more, but well, I guess we'll see. Hey, RNG time. That was not a lot, but we'll deal. Yeah, that was not worth it. Well, hey, off we go. But again, at least for this first playthrough, I'm just going to be cruising through. When I complete one with as Magical Pizza visits us here, then I will do a bit more homework just to get some smoother runs going. If not for no other reason, then, well, as this game gets updated, it will be kind of nice. Again, just showcasing the skip function, and future Jordan will show that this is the this is going to be an edited video because of things happen. So that's why the cut was there. I would also like to build Vit, but if I really wanted to focus from my experience, I mean, we still want to kind of balance stats. I wonder if balancing stats is better. I've usually just gone for kind of a specialized coup. And by that I mean HP strength, but sometimes I've gone agility with Vit, sometimes I've gone more Vit and then agility, but most of the time I take strength because I'm just interested in building strength and HP, but which wasn't the case actually. In every single run I usually ate something where HP went down and another stat went up, usually strength. Don't eat the tree. I know I said I was going to push towards a wild coup, but I mean, if it doesn't benefit me, I'm not going to have her eat. That being said, so if you didn't already see, or if it didn't happen, the hold on, let me check. Yeah, but no. So I mean, on down, I'll just go for passives. You can only have so many skills. The reason I did that really quickly is because you can only have so many skills that Ku can take with you. Now, if you lose a battle and retry, or you just get into a different battle, as we run into Poison Dragon, I don't know the names yet, but you have to choose between 4 max skills. So, I mean, not that that should be breaking any copyright, but as I go take my morning greeting here really quickly, yeah, we're gonna do our best. So, what was I talking about earlier? Oh my goodness, going crazy. But I've been trying to do my best. Although, I mean, it's not going to take long for me to get into the groove of things, hopefully. But raise Durgan, do good. Although I do want to grab meat here for strength primarily. Was it strength? I'm going crazy. Well, anywho. But yeah, I was going to break a wall. Oh, so yeah, what I was trying to say is that building Wild Ku means that, for those who don't know, you do run into moments in which Ku will not listen to you in battle, which means she just decides to do something randomly. I think that also includes item use, but I can't remember. But anywho, where'd you go? So yeah, depending on, obviously, personality and other factors as well, Ku will go out and do things, sometimes good, sometimes bad, depending on what you believe is good and bad. But for the most part, you're just... Oh, hey, you know what I never mentioned? The objective of a single run-through of Drapline. If you also didn't see earlier, or actually you probably didn't see earlier, this game is split into scenarios. So far, I think with this recent update, we got basically New Game Plus, but no expansion of the story, just a harder gameplay. So at least it's something else I can focus on here. Do I have any of these? I mean, I could just try to reroll for some more. You know what? We'll do it once. Better than none at all, right? Yeah, we'll take the bit. I should actually do a separate video just to go over the help of Drapline in case anyone was curious, but for the most part, just to explain really quickly, Vit is actually just your defense, apparently. Probably does other things, but that's my quick takeaway if I were to think about it. And then strength is obviously strength, and everything else should be everything else. Did she do well? I'm just gonna praise. Well, trying to build Wild Ku, I can still course correct if I want to, but... Or, I can still course correct, basically, but we'll see. Also, I have to be careful. I've accidentally clicked before. That's just a me thing. I've clicked on, say, skill acquisition, and you only need to click once. There's no double click due to buffering, which is actually a good thing. Makes things faster for the player. Better quality of life, but... we don't need the resilience, even though we do need the resilience. We're probably going to get slapped by magic spells at some point, but... I like the vitality. I have the power. Kind of paused there, because I was wondering if I really wanted to train Morgantiana. Morgantiana? Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Also want to slow down sometimes just to see if things happen. Yep. Go ahead. And then you don't get an affection. But hey, it's for stats. So yeah, if I clicked skill acquisition and then I clicked again, there was a chance I accidentally pick a skill on accident. That's not a developer issue. That's a personal issue. There's only so much you can do as a developer that's not on you when a player does something. And even then, like, I think 80 to 90% of things, though valid or invalid, you run into times in which it's the player's fault, and sometimes the developer's fault, basically. So, yeah, we have to pay this, by the way, because we did it. I mean, we could try to ignore it, but no, we're going to pay it. Basically, we bought another ingredient, which sometimes you want. Also, notice that Ku has stamina here, just to do things every turn. But yeah, that's all I really need to say. Yeah. We shouldn't need to run into anything. If we do have to take out a loan, we'll take out a loan. There's a shop here. I actually would like to shop there. Maybe I should not have rested. Well... Oh my god! That's what it says, for those who don't know. Or my attempt. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake in the spelling there. But, katakana. Anywho. So yeah, tasteless rock. I mean, it's the best we get. I could have cataloged there, but hey. And yeah, by this point, you should probably already have a good idea as to basically the general gameplay loop. Which, again, for the most part, yes, you do 1, maybe 2 runs and you're done. But me, again, as I mentioned before, I like to sink my teeth into a game over and over and over. What am I doing here? Target takes their intelligence in damage. You know what? We'll try it out, but if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. That wasn't a great use of the shop, but we'll deal. I probably have to loan my next ingredient as well. Yeah, we have to loan it. I want the HP, so for those who don't know, hey, at least here you can see things as well. Obviously other people have played Drapline, but oh boy. I think I'm part of the few who just end the game with a loan, but shrug. Yeah, we have to go out. I think we work and we move on. So basically for NPCs in which I like working in, I don't want Ku to eat. No, you cannot. But for other NPCs in which I don't mind the infection increase, I can just have her eat to increase her wild. There are obviously, if you saw the shop items, there are items in which can sway your Ku's personality left or right, but yeah, we'll see. Is there a phrase to fire her up? Yeah, but let's go on and use I am just copy pasting phrases that I've written down just out of fun, but muda, and we'll move on. Would like some more strength. Always want more strength. Could also use more vit, but more strength. Yeah, this time we'll eat something. We'll eat a lower rarity item, and then we'll pay some of this back. Actually use all the money that we have to pay it back. And off we go. So again, now that we move into, like, helping Martha or helping, Skeleton, let's just say, we don't really mind if Ku decides to eat something random, but she seriously helped, so hey, we'll take it. Oop, I nearly skipped something. Did I skip anything? I'm gonna be so sad if I did. Well, hey. Keep in mind, we do need to still buy ingredients left and right, so hey. So yeah, currently rule, at least she's going to listen for the most part, but that does mean she will, she gains less by eating at certain times. Critical rate up. Don't I have a passive that does a thing that lowers my crit, but gives me, yeah, accuracy. But if I want some crit, I did mess up one of my previous runs, though I completed the run. I did mess up my runs, and again, I am manually backing up my saves in case anything happens. But if you didn't see, that's why my saves are going to be clean, because I am going to. Oh my god! Yeah, I cleaned my saves just to start with a fresh save for the purposes of this series on this channel. But as we do our preparations here, I mean, we just have all 4 skills. And then I think we just unga bunga go in like a brute force monkey. But even just starting on, because I did get a little into New Game Plus or the Days of Tornado 2. Yeah, I've run into some roadblocks. It's not the worst roadblocks, but there are some RNG in me trying to win. Let's just say that much. And we're back. There's a lot of interruptions today. But anywho, I mean, we don't have any cleanse actually, so we probably just want to do our best to buff and finish this fight as soon as possible before we get overwhelmed. Yeah, so we're taking like strength and intelligence and poison. Those are the primary buffs you run into, and it's a race against time. So could also do a thing, but I think we're just gonna go all out. We'll basically cycle our cooldowns is what I'm trying to say. But as I move on here, also really quickly, offhand comment if you're still watching this as a kind of a goodie. Yes, I am working on a video game myself. Yes, I am also working on another game on the side. Basically, if you see a trying to play, there is a 50% chance that I would be trying to start a series on this game, because I do like to branch out and like play different games. If for no other reason than it gives me some variety so that I can better myself as a human being. as flowery as that sounds, I mean, that is just the that's just the reality of the situation. But obviously, I'm looking for other things as well. I'm not going to play a game that I don't find any satisfaction in, so shrug. But as we move on here, so what's her name here? Oh my goodness, I'm going absolutely insane. Even just the first boss fight is not going to be a it's not the easiest on Days of Tornado 2. Obviously, again, for a newer trainer. I don't know what we call the player here, but basically it can be challenging, like most games is. And I would rather a challenge than a curb stomp, especially on what is apparently supposed to be New Game Plus. But as we move on here, what do I want? Will I get anything? Nope, can't use magic. Hot-blooded headbutt. When hit by physical, otherwise raise crit, get accuracy. You know what? Passives. Unfortunately, Kua's centered towards rule, so yeah, only didn't get as much as I could have. But I'm sure maybe there's a reason for to go from wild to rule or rule to wild. But as we move on to the topic of, I guess what, this game's, again, eventual development. So, assumably, if it's going from 0.7... Well, actually, that's not true. So, for those who work with version updates, I thought, a long time ago, as we go into story time here for a moment, I thought that versions, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, up to 1.0, I thought that game versions were building up to, so like when you get to 0.9, then the next one must be 1.0, right? No, that's not necessarily the case. Those numbers, for some people, are normally going to just be a number. So literally, so 0.2 would be the second version, 0.5 would be the fifth version. But when you get to 10 or above, so say you have you're going from 0.9 to 0.10. Again, that's just the number indicator to of your game's version, whether it's a beta or it's a small update. Small updates being delegated to normally the third digit, so of game version of 0.11.2 means that there is a second fix usually, and that should be pretty logical, right? But again, it's dependent on your own thing as a developer. Obviously, there is a what do you want to say? There's a numbering convention to version numbers in general, but as long as it makes sense within your project, and by extension you should probably be having documentation with it, then you can use any convention you want, whether it's version numbers, whether it is how you update things, what you update your projects with, not necessarily video games, then you can do whatever you want. But for the most part, yes, there is a naming convention. On the other hand, I do use kind of the Gohan wa doko da? Gohan wa doko da? Where you can use whatever convention you want. I normally use, again, 0.0.0 or x.x.x to label the left side is the most major, like big content like game released, the middle one being things in the between, but there's some content, and then the one on the right being small fixes. Going from 1 to however many numbers, but usually I don't like to stay more than 9, because that, again, I guess that is something that's muscle memory to myself now. Not that I've ever released a lot of large games. I've done a lot of smaller games. Those normally don't go within more than like 0.6, unless I'm working on mods, of course. You can see some on this channel. But as for Drapline, yeah, I can imagine it going up to like 0.8, 0.9, but maybe it just skips to 1.0 when the developer is ready. Again, it all depends on the developer. As for training Ku here, I am just kind of turning my brain off and just looking for certain things, but otherwise, I want more money. I also want a chance to push Ku to the wild personality. You'd be surprised to see how many times Ku doesn't ask for something to eat, but she does here. Unfortunately, it's sea fish, but I want to push the wild, so sorry. I'm gonna have her eat. Hey, no snacking during work. No wild. Don't know if you'll see it today, but if you do, you do. If you don't, well, basically wild during battle. We'll go at least 2 bosses here, and then into summer training. I call it summer training. It might as well be summer training. August is still summer, right? Anywho. And this is when we're just gonna let her go wild. So, when you're happy, Ku, you can say Taberu. literally root form, well, not root form, but just the basic all tabaru, which means to eat. One of the very first things you probably learn in Japanese. But anywho, here's this egg. Actually, no, we might as well catalog. Look for something better. Look for something better. Okay, fine. I'll just take the strength. Goodness. But yeah, you can see how the game has replayed it. I think most training games have some sort of replayability, just innate. Also, there's a shop here, which I should have actually saved more money for. But, don't need intelligence, guaranteed 50,000 HP, which, you know what? I will need that. Shift personality, but also passives here. If I decide to rest, yes, but that's why we're taking it. Meat on the bone, more meat on the bone. We can actually buy more of these, and off we go. So I have no money. We're going to have to borrow from Cat. Could also use the voucher, but that's only when I have more money to spare. Yeah, sure. Eat the flower field. I don't know what it says. I should actually play this game in Japanese, like go through a full run-through in Japanese, just so I can compare translations left, right, and center. But, moving on. This is a reminder to myself, as we grab some HP here, that I really do need to, hold on. I need to focus. We don't need the stamina, so we're just gonna go eat some caves. And you might ask, Jordan, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, Divine Dragon, eat it all. I don't know for sure. If I were to guess, I feel like some of these sound effects are taken from some RPG commercial-free sources. But correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's the case, though. It sounds really close. Or basically, I mean, the bare minimum is it sounds like RPG sounds, which is very, very good. Hey, you'd be surprised to see how many... so cool. You'd be surprised to see how many assets exist, if I were to be careful about what I'm saying here. Yeah, how many assets exist for basically just game development specifically. I mean, that's all I need to say. We need more stamina, by the way. But you normally have enough to eat a location, basically. But I forgot what I was talking about. Moving on. Are we going to be okay for the next boss fight? I feel like that I might be in a bit of trouble, but we don't need the stamina, unfortunately, but I don't want to decrease my strength, so instead, we do anything else. Oh, did we eat it all? Wait a second. No. Unless it's bugged. No. Oh, well, to the forest we go, then. I mean, we would like the other stats to increase. If you get slapped by magic, we're in a lot of trouble. So now we're at wild personality. You'll see, if I even just get into a small fight, you might see Kugu going wild, and that's essentially she doesn't listen, like I mentioned earlier, to what orders you give her. Which, I mean, I think it's guarantees a crit? I can't remember. But anywho. Yeah, let's come again. You can eat everything again. If the story goes... Basically, for anyone playing Drapline now, the story is not complete. But you can complete a playthrough of a scenario. No, we do not want to switch those. I'm just going to re-roll again. Okay, well that was worse, but we don't have the money for anyway, so all things considered, taking a small loan isn't as bad. But as we move Ku on here, let's continue onward. Funny enough, if I'm this deep in... Well, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Anywho. We'll use all of our money to pay off as much as loan as possible, and Archies again. Arches? Archies. Archies? Should really play the Japanese version. Not that that guarantees the correct pronunciation of English terms, but as we... Do I praise this? I mean, I shouldn't have, but shrug. Too late. Cleanse? Yeah, cleanse. And synergies, but again, I'm not really paying as much attention to those. Random stats increase, breath attack changes. Yeah, sure. Believe. Okay, that wasn't too crazy. But as for the breath, guaranteed large damage to all. So I now have a cleave breath, which, yeah, okay, you don't have to change it, thankfully. Could probably have used that, but until we get a boss... so that's what I was going to mention. Ooh. my money. Oh yeah, we have to take a loan, by the way. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Man, I'm going crazy. My brain. Welcome to this channel where I also forget. On top, if RNG is one feature of this channel, me forgetting things is another part of this channel. But unless we somehow game over, I really should be rolling my saves. By the way, I have not been. I wonder if I'm about to just save and game over somehow. Guess we're gonna find out. But we can help Quinn and move on with lives. I am gonna forget these names. I really forgot what I was going to mention. I'm going crazy now. But yeah, basically this video ends and future Jordan should probably timestamp things. But also, you know what? I haven't been using my items. I often forget about the items anyway. I can't use the stamina, so sadness, arches. But yeah, we'll move on. I'm going absolutely crazy, by the way. Anywho. Let me know if you want to actually just see a full playthrough in one video. I know it can kind of be weird waiting for 2 days, basically, because one part of the playthrough can... first half of a playthrough can be one video, and the second half can be another, but I like bite-sized games as regardless, if that wasn't already apparent already. We have to take out another loan. That makes me so sad. But, yeah, we have to. You can't pay for it all. You can't only pay a partial amount, so Calico just takes my money and loans and goes. But then we just pay it all back. I mean, I really should just check the thingamajiggy. Check what's available in town before I go work. But, hey. Hopefully I remember what I was going to talk about. Otherwise, I'll talk about it in the next video. What are you going to eat? No! You can eat anything but the NPC, please. Well, I guess we're not going to be having a wild coup. But... vitality damage. Nope, can't reroll. I don't have any fans. Well, off we go. Shop week, but I don't have any money for it. So, is this going to be another loan week? It might be another loan week. It's going to be another loan week. Whee! Hey, Calico. Hey. Hey, girl. Or guy. I actually can't tell. Same thing for Ku. But anywho. I say Dragon Girl, so I believe. I mean, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Oh, by the way, we don't have any stamina anyway, so rest. Do I know? Yes, I could sell them. Actually, because I'm not going to be using as much... That's not a lot of gold, though. I'm just going to sell it just to see. Really? Well, well, well. That is worthless. Unless there's an actual other effect, but I highly doubt it. But, funny enough, if I sold another one of those, I could have bought this egg. Now we have to take out another loan. Hey, Calico! Gosh. Oh, man. Moving on. It's all to feed Durgan, though. I'm pretty sure if you can't pay the loan for the week, I think that's a game over as well. But, anywho. Let us actually fight and see what happens. I'm pretty sure you get money from fights here. But anywho. So what do we have available? Poison, stuff, and stuff. But you know what? Oh my goodness, we're too slow. They act first. It's fine for the moment, but yeah, I would like actually to have been a lot faster. Also, so yeah, really nice thing. You can see the effects, status effects on your screen. 30% crit rate, so rolling RNG regardless, and at this point we just go full throttle. Not that we really need to worry anyway, with the heal over time that we have for the first 4 turns, shouldn't need to worry. Now for a boss fight though, it's going to be a bit iffier, but got a deal. Also we're fighting through a heavy fight here, but hey. There was a long moment in my first playthrough in which I did not understand what Vitality did, but all I literally had to do was go to the tutorial or tips section and find out. Basically, you have no excuse not to do well playing Drapline. 10 max HP damage, you know what? Go for it. We're just neutral Ku right now, so we just eat. And actually, apparently we're inclined towards Brule, so we didn't eat as much. Hey! Bye. I don't have any more vouchers to spare. We just have boss battles. I forgot which boss we're actually fighting here, so hopefully it's not going to take too long. Otherwise... I mean, I'll do my best. We'll give it 3 runs. There were some limitations I wanted to set, but for my first run, I'm just gonna go all out. So, crit rate, do we have time to buff? Actually, can't we check the drag? No, we cannot. So, we'll just do the best of what we've got. So, didn't use any items. I keep forgetting to use items. I don't think I used a single item during the training phase because I keep forgetting it's like, yeah, I just keep forgetting. But as we fight Nori here, and I think we have to avoid sleep, if I recall. This is, I think, the exact boss fight that I was running. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So, at a certain point, I'll probably mention in the next video too. The bosses are supposed to be random, I assume. If not, I mean, at this point, the game is still in early access, so I imagine things being static being okay. But I don't think that was the case. I think they are random still, to some extent. We don't have a lot of bosses to fight, but it's still relatively random. So, as we sit here... Oh no, curses. We're dealing with curses. I believe we're dealing with curses. Anywho. We'll deal. So, we die on the 13th turn. So, it's a race against the soft well, actually hard enrage, if we're gonna treat it that way. Because, yeah, fun times. Keep punching. We should be able to survive this. If we can't, I'm gonna be really, really confused. So, ignoring commands, but I think the crit rate increases. Unfortunately, it's not as much as it would be if wild personality was higher, so that's kind of the trade-off. You get crit rate increases, and at a certain extent, it's just guaranteed crits. But Ku doesn't do what you want, so if she doesn't attack, and you need a crit, or you want damage to go, then, well, you don't get damage that turn. If you didn't want damage and you wanted Ku to heal, she can sometimes just choose to attack, and then she eats an attack and gets defeated. So, good thing we can retry for no question mark penalty. But as we fulfill our duties and move on with our lives, yeah, this will definitely be going into the second video. Unless, of course, we just run into a brick wall and game over and over again. But until that moment, yeah. I probably should have just taken a passive instead, but too late now. So basically, with this money, we're going to just be paying off our loans. Oh, real life. But moving on here, we'll take our food and move on. Hey, Ku, what go on? Right now, she feels mango. But yeah, so as we close out this video, again, let me know if you want to see something specifically, give suggestions, so on and so forth, or if you just want to put a comment, I'll reply to it. But otherwise, I'll just do what I do and we'll keep moving on. My loans, by the way, will at least just, hopefully I don't somehow soft lock myself here, but we're just going to use all of our money to do these loans here. That way I don't have to do it at the start of the next video. But yeah, if the end screen should be here as I save the game, and not really much else to say. If you have anything to say, again, you always know what to do. If you want to support me, well, there are ways to support me. But otherwise, I won't take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!